Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tuesday's Market Situation Report, or SITREP. Here at Top Gun Options, my name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. We had a great solo Amazon brief before market close yesterday, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you didn't get a chance to attend that free live trading session where we covered our new live trading service here at Top Gun Options, replay is on our YouTube page, Top Gun Options YouTube page. It's right here called Solo Amazon, new tactical short call and pre-earnings base trade. We took a look at synthetic stock, and we looked. We took a look at some short calls, but more importantly, we also took a look at everything that was going on in Amazon. And guess what? Even though they have earnings this week, they just came out today and took a look at partnering up with Realogy. Realogy is a massive real estate agency. So add real estate, folks, to everything that the Death Star is taking over. Looking at the Jedi defense contract, they're looking at over 3,200 satellites in low orbit to give high-speed internet access to everybody around the world, from the Congo to Antarctica. They're in healthcare, they're in technology, you name it. Amazon's in it. It's a $3,000 stock easily in a year from now. And the position that I looked at yesterday is a six-figure, $100,000 profit potential in 2 years minimum on an investment of about maybe $15,000-ish to $10,000, depending on the strikes that you're looking at. We only have a handful of solo slots left. It's only $97 a month, folks. Went out for dinner last night in Fort Lauderdale. $97. The bottle of wine costs more than $97, folks. So this is our least expensive service here at Top Gun Options, mainly because we only trade one name. So for $97 or a 25% discount, $897 a year, you can go ahead and get airborne. All you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo, and we're going to close the door most likely today. I think we got out of the 200 slots, we have about 190 something. So once we hit 200, folks, we will not take any more people, because we like to do these briefs, these sessions in GoToTraining. Anything more than that, we have to be in GoToWebinar, which you can't see each other's chat, and it's kind of a pain for me as an instructor. So we like to keep these 200 and below. So head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo. Okay, let's get to our brief. IMF cuts global GDP forecast for 2019. Why? Fallout from trade tensions, man. The world GDP growth is expected to slow 3.2%. World trade forecast to grow 2.5%, off sharply. So the IMF, not the Tom Cruise IMF, the International Monetary Fund, used to be headed by Christine Lagarde, is starting to see some brown shoots out there. We're starting to see a little bit of brown shoots maybe here in the United States. I laughed the other day that Morgan Stanley said there's a 20% of a recession in the next year. Okay, great. That's real brave of them. So if it happens, they can say they're right. And if it doesn't, we said, it was only 20%. But obviously, the economy going from being completely on fire to simmering and smoldering, people are going to worry about. The Fed should absolutely not be cutting interest rates next week. They need to be sitting on their hands or raising interest rates. I don't care what the president says. He's doing it for politics. He ain't doing it for the good of this country. A lot of bad still going on over in Hong Kong, folks. Any day now, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see tanks rolling through the streets of Kowloon. Been to Hong Kong several times. Love the independent special access region, or whatever it's called. Love Hong Kong. The people are great, but I don't know how long China's going to stand for this. And the president, again, not standing up for what I believe is right, and him saying, "Oh, Xi's showing great restraint and doing a great job with Hong Kong." No, he isn't. Well, I guess you could compliment him for not going in there and going Tiananmen Square on Hong Kong, but the president's wanting to get a trade deal done, and he's willing to turn a cheek to this. Completely disagree with it. So here's essentially what I'm hearing. This whole trade war with China is coming down to the U.S. easing up on Huawei and China buying our ag products. Apparently, those are the two biggest sticking points. The president completely had diarrhea of the mouth over the G20 when he said, we'll give Huawei some exemptions and, we'll figure this out. Folks, when you got Republicans and Democrats, you've got both sides of the aisle united against Huawei, and the president's out on his own island. It's bad, folks. Huawei is an arm of the People's Liberation Army, just like Google is, but they're more of an arm, and I just don't see how we're going to break through and do this. His own party is going to rebel. I will rebel if he gives on Huawei here. It's a national security issue, folks. It's bad enough Google's working for the PLA. Huawei definitely is, and there's your 5G technology. Nah, come on. But the president, he likes where he is, right? He says, "Hey, I'm good without a trade deal. We're bringing in tens of $1 billion in tariffs into the Treasury. I'm fine with where we are." So stocks seen a little bit of a rally today. Dow at the opening bell up about triple digits. S&P's up a nice 8, 10 points like that. Why? Coca-Cola, some relatively good earnings out of some domestic companies, which good. So Coke was a beat, and that's kind of puts a smile on my face. United Technologies, which is also in a merger or acquisition talks with Raytheon, about 2% after the company raised its outlook for the year as earnings and revenue in the latest quarter beat expectation. We're going to talk about United Technologies in our primary live trade brief today at 1 o'clock. We have a lot of existing positions to look at. We have a bull put spread on FXI. That's the iShares China ETF. We have the 42, 41.5 bull put spread going out to Friday. Looking hopefully to make about $2,000 in that trade. Got to talk about Visa. Visa has earnings after market close today. Looks like my short 180 calls have turned around and are looking and starting to make some money. So I'm going to close those sometime today. And then we have a bull put spread on volatility on VXX. Remember, folks, the best time to get long volatility is when it is sunny and it's no rain, no thunderstorms or anything like that. Buying hurricane insurance when there's a tropical depression over the Bahamas is not smart. Okay, so vol had a good little spike last week. Now it's coming back down. Look at this, folks. Volatility is a heart rate monitor. Freak out, come back to your resting heart rate. Freak out, resting heart rate. Freak out, back to your resting heart rate. Somebody asked me on StockTwits, like, oh, where's the volatility whiz? Why don't you short it? Why don't you short it? Because, right, nothing ever could go wrong ever again in the next couple weeks or months, right? Everything's great. Come on, man. Iran still has a United Kingdom flagged vessel. What was it? Yesterday, South Korean fighter jets intercepted Chinese and Russian bombers in their airspace and fired nearly 300 rounds and fired flares out of the aircraft, almost shooting them down. So we have a China trade war. We have a potential real war with China and Taiwan. We have Iran, the Middle East, and by the way, we have the Fed meeting next week where the dude can only underwhelm, in my opinion. So if you want a short volatility right here, you're an idiot. To be honest with you, to be brutally honest, go ahead. I love people when they do that stuff like, hey, where's the volatility whiz? Short it. If you don't think vol's going to go up, short it and put your money where your mouth is, okay? But next week, we obviously have the Fed meeting, and all eyes are on Ben Bernanke. I was going to say Ben Bernanke, on Jerome Powell. Want to talk about Amazon real quickly. Earnings this week. We had a great session yesterday, like I said, but striking this deal and getting into real estate is fantastic. This guy today on CNBC, really cogent analysis here. He thinks there's a 40% rally, easily upside in the stock. This one guy's profit target is $2,700. I'm up at $3,000 easily. I think these guys are low. So, like I said, we only have a handful, so maybe 5 more slots until we close our solo Amazon service. All you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo. Quick reminder, we're done with Full Throttle. We did a full week of live training and trading last week. We got 50 people, and guess what we did? We started turning people away. So sorry. I literally told people once we get 50, we're done, and still have people yesterday like, hey, I want to get my Full Throttle slot. We'll see you in October or November or whenever our next Full Throttle is, folks. I'm a man of my word, and we shut the doors when we're full. Okay, so handful of people today, and then we're going to be done with solo Amazon for a couple months as well. We come up to Periscope debt every couple months, get some new sailors as old ones go back out to the fleet after they learn to trade options very, very successfully here at TGO, at Top Gun Options. Okay, so have a great rest of your day. I will see my members. Good performance, today's performance. How we looking month to date in this portfolio? Look at that. The primary live trade brief model portfolio is up $7,000 month to date. Really happy with that. Look, shockingly, our volatility positions, Visa, a little bit of a loser. Was it last week with the Brazil trade? But net still looking good. We'll talk about Brazil at 1 o'clock as well. Okay, so have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see you tomorrow or at 1 o'clock in the primary live trade brief.